So, my friends, welcome to a new crypto update video. Bitcoin is at 104,600 US dollars. We're still stuck in a very boring sideways phase. The Fed's interest rate decision was as expected. We didn't get any rate cuts, and the best line that keeps coming from our friend Powell is, the labor market isn't calling for a rate cut. The labor market is stable and everything is just peachy. At least that's how it looks at the Fed, and Bitcoin couldn't care less. Yeah, yesterday we saw another mini sell-off down to around 103,500 US dollars. All well and good. We, bought that dip, but otherwise not much has happened. Today is still a holiday in the US. The Iran-Israel conflict still isn't resolved, even though there are supposedly talks happening. Let's see if that's really the case or if it's all just a deception. We're hoping for the best, but to be honest, I don't have a good feeling about it. In any case, let's take a look at crypto, the stock markets, and the altcoins. What's new there? How might we proceed now? And then I also want to announce a stock sale in a moment. We'll definitely get to that in just a bit. But before we get started, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, feel free to check out the free Telegram talk and signal group. If you're interested in updates, news, and signals, feel free to join. You can find the link for that for free down in the video description. That way, you'll always know, for example, when I buy a stock, like here with Circle, which we bought a week ago, and it's already up 100%. I've taken out my initial investment here. Now it's just the profits running on that stock, and I'll keep you updated on the rest as things develop. So, the link for that is down in the video description. And if you're still looking for an exchange where you can trade everything we talk about here, feel free to sign up with my partner exchange, BingX. The link for that is also in the video description or in the comments section. You support the channel and me with this. Alright. Bitcoin is at 104,620 US dollars. In the end, what I just showed you pretty much sums up everything that happened yesterday, which honestly wasn't much. The labor market is stable, the job market is steady. Basically, everything is really good in the US, so there's really no pressure to lower interest rates or anything like that. So we'll have to see if things really stay this positive and whether we'll even get an interest rate cut at all. If we take a quick look at the CME Watch tool here, we can see that, okay, there probably won't be a rate cut in July. But that was already clear beforehand. 90% expect that there won't be a rate cut. In September, there's a 60% chance that we'll get the first rate cut, and in October, yeah, it's already looking more likely that rates will stay the same, so we'll probably only get the next one in December. So, 2 have been announced, but only if the market conditions allow for it. So there's no 100% guarantee that we'll actually get these 2 rate cuts. The market is, of course, pricing this in, but we really have to see if it actually happens that way. Bitcoin hasn't really reacted to it. Like I said, 44,600 US dollars. Not much is really happening. We still have yesterday's analysis, which would be helpful for us, or at least for me, if we head toward 106,000, 107,000 US dollars, just to, oops, that's not what I wanted, that was the wrong indicator. So, yeah. Just to pick up the vector candles here a bit more from above, and then of course also the supply zone that's still up here, maybe to pick that up as well, before making a reversal downward. So for me, nothing is bullish at the moment, unless this Iran conflict possibly gets resolved, which I just don't expect right now. It's all more like wishy-washy statements that are being made here. If we look at the funding rates, they're completely at 0. Really, 0.0. There are just minimal spots where we have negative funding. That means the market is very balanced, although I would say there are more shorts. If we look at the heat map, we still have a lot up here at these 109. That also means above our top, which I just mentioned is where I'd like to see it go. But that still matches up with our vector candles that are up here. So, not much has really changed on the 2-week heat map either. On the 1-week heat map, we still have a lot more to pick up on the downside, toward 103,000 US dollars. But that still remains the boundary. If we break below that, then it'll probably hit toward 100 and then likely toward 93K. So, we're still, of course, in this, let's say, huge sideways phase, but also still in this top region where I'd say, okay, this could be our top for now for the next few weeks and months, meaning we might see a correction first. So right now, it's really hard to position yourself correctly here. Like I said, for me, up at the top, that would definitely be a great spot to go short. From the red box down to the golden pocket, you could start thinking about a short position again. I'm still short with a stop loss at entry. For me, I'd only consider going long a bit lower because I just don't trust the market right now. Unless, like I said, unless some big news comes out today, but it's a holiday in the US too. Yeah, peace between Israel and Iran. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Then, all of this would be irrelevant and we'd probably see a pump to the upside. But otherwise, today will probably be a quiet day. Like I said, it's a holiday in the US, so things will really pick up again tomorrow, and I don't think trading volumes will be huge then either. Let's move over to Ethereum. What's happened there? Nada. Absolutely nothing at all. The market is just standing still right now. So there's really no need to go into more detail here. Yesterday's analysis still holds. 2700. 2700 to 2740. That's the first target if there's a bullish move, otherwise, lower. But even there, probably very, very little will happen today. Solana, same story. Nothing is happening here at all. The market is like it's frozen, but we've been seeing that for a few days now. Very, very little is happening, even with the Fed's interest rate decision. No one really expected anything to happen anyway. The speech afterwards was a bit more interesting, but it's always the same old story that Powell brings down to us. Alright, so I'd say let's move on to the traditional markets. What's gold doing? Gold has now fallen below our support level. Okay, but interest rate cuts are already priced in. At least for now, even though the speech wasn't really bullish. So as long as we hold above 3,325 US dollars, I still think everything is okay, even if the uptrend has now been broken for the time being. Still, let's see how the markets hold up over the next few hours, especially since it's a holiday now. We always have to pay close attention to that, but for now, let's just wait a bit. Then let's move on to, let's start with the forex markets, euro versus US dollar. The euro is weakening, the dollar is getting stronger. Bonds are slowly starting to see demand again, strangely enough. So that means things are also a bit critical here at the moment. Even though rate cuts aren't really official yet, the dollar has at least gained a little. Bond markets, yen are dropping a bit, so it could be that there's some reallocation happening right now. I still wouldn't worry too much about the euro just yet. Like I said, we've already dipped briefly below the support level here. I think the euro only really becomes critical if we can't climb back up here and we fall below the €1.14 mark. Then I'd start to worry a bit more, because that would really be a complete turnaround, a much stronger dollar, bonds being in demand again, and so on. But at the moment, it doesn't really look like that yet, as long as interest rates in the US remain this high. So it could just be a brief spillover before pumping back up again. What are the stock markets doing? The DAX is still holding steady at 23,300 points. I don't think much will really happen today either, because as I said, the US sets the tone, but it's also very, very quiet here. In the meantime, and this was more important to me personally, we've filled this wick over here, created a new one, but it's not significant. So from a 4-hour perspective, in my opinion, it doesn't matter at all. On the 1-hour chart, there's nothing visible at all. You can see for yourself here, this wick was filled perfectly. The one from, when was that actually, May 23rd, was filled, and now, theoretically, we could be sitting up for a turnaround here again. But of course, that also depends on the US indices, because right now, nothing is happening there either. Absolutely nothing is going on, literally 0.0. It's strange. Really, really strange that I'm not seeing any movement here. People are buying and selling, that's clear, but I'm still missing that real breakout here, or rather, we still haven't hit that all-time high. If we look at it now, we're about 2.5% away from our all-time high. Nothing is happening at all. Dow Jones, same story. It's been completely sideways ever since we entered this red resistance box. We've just been dawdling around here. S&P 500, same story. Just like the Nasdaq, it's just dawdling around, but it's much further away from the all-time high than the Nasdaq, about 3.26%, but still. In my opinion, the markets are waiting for a huge catalyst, or we're just stuck in a summer slump right now, which everyone assumes we won't get out of. I'm being extremely cautious about the whole situation. That's why, as I said, I just went ahead and took profits with Circle, because why not? You might as well take them when you can, in my opinion. And before we possibly run into a crash or something else next week, I'd rather just take profits now. But honestly, with stuff like this, it's also because we have the Stablecoin Act in the US, which was passed by the Senate. So of course, the only regulated stablecoin provider on the stock market is pumping hard, just like Coinbase, which is also somewhat involved. So I think holding on to these stocks for a bull run is never a bad idea, and that's how I'll keep playing it, especially if nothing is really happening in the stock markets right now. But alright, let's see what happens today. I suspect it's going to be a very, very quiet day, unless there's some big news, like I said, from Iran or somewhere else. Otherwise, I'd like to wish you all a nice afternoon or a great day. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure yet. Normally Thursday is live stream time, but I can't say for sure just yet. I'll let you know about that later. Otherwise, I'll of course post the links for you in the Telegram group. And as you know, Thursdays at 7 p.m. on YouTube is live stream time. If there's an exception, like possibly today, I'll announce it ahead of time, but otherwise, 7 p.m. should be the usual live stream as always. But let's just see how it goes, like I said. That's all from me. I wish you a great day. Take care of yourselves. Until then, bye-bye, and as always, stay crypto.